Hi, welcome to the Android development tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn about MVP in Android. Let's get started. On seeing the title, some of you would think that this video is going to be how to become a most valuable player, MVP, in PUBG. But that is not the thing here. This is Model, View, Presenter, MVP, in Android development. Before learning about MVP, let us learn about Model, View, Controller, MVC. So, what is MVC? What is model? Models contain the data that are put into classes called model classes, which the other components can use. This data is fetched from the cloud database or a local database. What is view? Views are user interface visible to the user. Moreover, they also handle any interaction a user may have with the screen like click listeners. In Android, the view responsibility often falls onto activities and fragments. What is controller? Controllers handle the connection between models and views. The controller updates the view when the model changes and also update the model when something happens in the view. In Android, the controller logic is also found in activities and fragments. This approach is fine, right? Then why do we go to MVP? Yes, this approach has a huge disadvantage. When it comes to implementing MVC on the Android platform, things get tricky. Here are some disadvantages of MVC. First thing is, the function of a view layer is to display things and should not contain any business logic. Like, it shouldn't have to know about databases or network calls. Moreover, it is difficult to test components when they are tightly coupled. A common Android problem is, controller activity contains all the logic. For a simple screen, this can be manageable, but, as features get added, this file will keep growing. In MVC, Android activities are tightly coupled to both user interface and database access. So, controller and view logic in the same activity or fragment, will make it harder to refactor and change. Finally, when you should test the code that exists in the controller, we'll end up needing to run Android SDK components, such as activities, which need a running device or emulator. Basic unit testing will not help. We'll need to use expensive unit tests to test the basic parts of the app. So, to resolve the problems, comes MVP. MVP is a good architecture pattern that you can use to deal with some of the shortcomings of MVC. It provides an easy way to think about the structure of your app. MVP is composed of the following components. 1. The model contains the data in simple classes, so, nothing really changes here. 2. The view will be implemented using activity or fragment classes, but we will change the scope of what the view controls. 3. The presenter. The presenter handles UI updates based on changes to the data model, and also processes users' inputs. The presenter will contain much of the business code and replaces the controller from MVC. MVP provides 1. Modularity. 2. Testability. 3. A more clean and maintainable code base. Now, I will try to explain MVP pattern with Android programming. This project is available on my GitHub, the link is in the description. In this demo, I am going to implement a simple login authentication. Let's get started. I am creating a new Android project, named MVP Example. Now I am creating a login UI, which contains 2 edit text, one for email, and another one for password. And one login button. Now, I am linking the login elements in the Java class. On clicking the login button, I get an email ID and password from the user input as a string. Now, I am creating a class named Presenter and an interface named Contract. inside contract interface, I am creating an interface named view, which contains two methods, one is on success, and another one is on error. Next, I am creating another interface named presenter, which contains a method named on login. Then, in the presenter class, I am implementing the presenter interface from the contract interface and corresponding methods. Then, I am also generating a constructor for the presenter class. Then, in the main activity class, I am implementing a view interface from the contract interface and corresponding methods. Then, I am validating the email ID and password strings. If the email ID and password are empty, then I call on error method. Then, if the email ID and password are not empty, then I call on login method from the presenter interface, in the contract interface. In presenter class, I am validating email ID equal to admin@adt.com and the password which is equal to admin. Then, if the condition satisfies, I call on success method, else I call on error method. Finally, in main activity class, I define a toast method inside on success and on error. Now, I run the application. I am entering the wrong email ID and password, and you can see an error toast message popping up. Now I am entering the correct email ID and password, and you can see a success message popping up. And that's all for today. Thank you for coming, and subscribe for more.